Yeah, some missing lights here. Hi everybody, Les Richmond here. Doing a little something different in this video. We're here in Las Vegas, and right now we're staying at the Cosmopolitan, and later in this trip we're going to be moving over to the Bellagio. And one thing that's unusual is that we are staying at the least expensive rooms in each of those hotels, and thought that it would be an interesting thing to sort of review them, compare them, and let you know our honest opinion. We're paying for this ourselves, and we are not influenced in any way. And so let's do the room tour. This is room 4049 in the Cosmopolitan. Okay, so as we come into the room, there's a series of light switches that control a lot of different lights. Now, over here on your right, when you come into the room, you have the closet. Why they chose to have Queen Elizabeth looking out at you from the closet, no idea, but it's part of their decorating ideas. Down here is a little safe, and the safe is actually pretty good size. It's good enough for us. Now, it's the same door for the closet and the bathroom. So we're going to go into the bathroom now. Here's another big piece of art. As you walk in, it looks like a lady holding a banana, but I think it's not a banana. And we asked for robes. They were not here when we came in, but they did provide them. And here's a shower. The shower is very good. And I gotta tell you, I like the simplicity of the shower. All you have to do is just turn this knob and the water comes out of there, and it's a good temperature. Good shelves here for all your stuff. I like that there are two sinks, two mirrors, and when you go into the bathroom, you have a gigantic head looking down at you. So you have some company when you go into the bathroom. Now, there's also a series of handy shelves that we've made use of. And here are towels. Okay, now we're gonna go into the room. Here's a full-length mirror. There's also a piece of furniture here that has a refrigerator in it and very expensive snacks. There's the setup for with the ice bucket. You can see, I don't know if you can make this out here, you can see that this room is a little, this piece of furniture at least, is a little bit worn. I also should say, why am I recording this at night? Well, the reason I'm recording this at night is because they have finally made up our room. They made up our room during the time that we were at dinner, after we asked and asked for them to make up our room. And so I have to say that the housekeeping here in the Cosmopolitan is not great. Here's another piece of artwork. There's some reading lights on the bed. The bed is pretty comfortable. Now, we also got two queen beds. If we had wanted a king-size bed, it would have been an upgrade, and we were bent on having like the least expensive room here, so this is what we got. There's some more light switches. There's some very good outlets here. Here's your TV remote, telephone, other bed. There's the big old TV. That works fine. Another piece of artwork. And this chair and another light. And I guess one advantage of recording this at night is that we get to see this view. There's Paris across the strip from us. There's the lake in front of the Bellagio that has the fountain, so we have a fountain view. And there is the Sphere. And the giant Ferris wheel here. Here is the Bellagio, so you can see is very close by, and we really do have a very nice view. So I would recommend, if you are coming to the Cosmopolitan, you want a standard room, try to get an odd numbered room because I think the odd numbered rooms face north. Okay, so here's another view of the room from this angle. Nice big shelf for storing your stuff. A lot of drawer space, very good. And that's it. Now, the next time I record, it will be the Bellagio. All for now. All right, so we're in the Bellagio and we're headed to our room. Nice color scheme in here. And one thing that I noticed right away is that all of the lights are on the wall and they're working and there's not an exposed wire in sight. Very good. I'm not too far from the elevator. Right here. Okay, so it's October 30th, 2025, and we have moved from our standard room in the Cosmopolitan to a standard room in the Bellagio. So as you walk in, there's some nicely tiled floor here. I believe that, oh, and there's a nice full-length mirror. And to the left, I believe that this room was refurbished within the last few years, but it looks absolutely new. It is flawless, okay? So as you go to your left when you enter the room, you have your bathroom and you have a huge shower. And it looks like a pretty simple mechanism to control the shower. You have a little shelf for your things there, sort of a normal shower head. And let's see, there's a double sinks, which we like. We have the two mirrors, a handy shelf underneath, and a toilet that does not have privacy. Like the Cosmopolitan room, you do have privacy door there for your shower. But if you need to make important phone calls, you've got a telephone right there, just for those important phone calls while you're sitting on the toilet. So now you go into the room, and there are some controls here for the draperies and the sheer. And right now everything is open, but we're going to close it pretty soon because you can see the sun is really beating in and it warms up the room. There's a very nice closet that you have to go inside the closet to light it up, and you have a safe. But the closet is really large and it has plenty of room for what you would need. So now moving into the room, there is a piece of furniture here that has a refrigerator inside. The refrigerator only has a little space for your personal stuff. That's your personal space right there. Other than that, it's all expensive beverages for you to buy. And you have your expensive snacks that you could buy. You have a little setup here for your ice bucket and some glasses. A nice TV on the wall. This is a really nice table. It's very comfortable to sit at here, not when the sun is beating in. You also have a handy little bench at the foot of the bed. Slept in this bed last night. It's very comfortable. There's also, you have your phone here, TV remote, and there's some power sockets here. Let's see, you have some lights overhead. You have your sofa. There's your other night table. More controls of the drapery and shears from the bed. Coffee table, sofa, lamp. Here's your room temperature controls. And probably the reason that this is the least expensive room here in the Bellagio is because you don't have that fountain view, but you do have a pretty nice view. There's some mountains there in the background, a highway, some more casinos, and or casino hotels, and the pool. And the pool, we had a very nice time sitting out there this morning. The weather was really pleasant. We found a spot in the shade. We took our breakfast out there. We just had a very nice little morning there. So here's what the room looks like from this angle. And it's a really comfortable room. Now, next I'll be back with my verdict regarding choice of Cosmopolitan basic room and Bellagio basic room. All for now. Well, this is our last evening in Las Vegas. We spent a few days in the Cosmopolitan in a standard room, and we spent a few days here in the Bellagio in a standard room. And now it's time for a little verdict here as far as what we preferred. So when you compare the two rooms, they're both spacious, they're both well appointed. As far as price goes, it's hard to say because the prices change every day. There's lots of promotions. So as far as technology, there's lots of outlets in both rooms. I guess the thing that stood out to us was just the condition of the Cosmopolitan. You walk down the hallway, you see exposed wires of light fixtures. The furniture in the room seemed a little worn. And the thing about the Cosmopolitan that really burned us was the housekeeping. The first 2 days there, the housekeeping wasn't done until like dinner time, and we had to ask for it. On the other hand, the Bellagio, I believe it is an older hotel than the Cosmopolitan, but it's so well kept up, it seems new. So overall, we would have to go with the Bellagio as far as a recommendation here. Hope this helped, and happy travels. Enjoy Las Vegas. It's pretty crowded here. You hear about things not being crowded in Vegas. It seemed crowded to me. So hope you enjoy. Take care.